Nobody ever expected the widow heart to come back to Hollow Creek. Not after what she had lost. Not after the fire. Not after the town turned their backs on her, whispering behind her as if tragedy were contagious. But on the night of the annual charity auction, under lantern light and the scent of fresh hay, she appeared again. Slim. Silent. Wrapped in mourning black. Though 2 years had passed, the crowd parted as she walked in, some out of pity, others out of guilt. And then there was Asher Callahan, the rancher with more acres than any man in 3 counties. Tall, broad-shouldered, suntanned with arrogance built into his stride. Men wanted to be him, women wanted to fix him. And he let them try, though none ever succeeded. Bet you won't bid on her, his cousin Mason nudged him with a grin as the auctioneer cleared his throat. Asher scoffed. I don't bet on people. You afraid? Mason taunted. Afraid the widow'll put a crack in your stone heart? People laughed. Asher didn't, until he saw her struggle to raise her hand, fingers shaking, trying to offer homemade pies to raise money for the orphanage. But no one bid. Pity drew them away like she was cursed. His jaw tightened. Fine, Asher muttered. You want a bet? Watch this. The bidding began. Silence. Then Asher lifted his hand with the confidence of a man who never faced consequences. 100. Gasps rippled through the barn. 100 going once, twice, sold to Mr. Asher Callahan. A whisper slid through the crowd like wind through wheat. What's he want with her? Asher didn't know himself. Maybe pride. Maybe spite. Maybe because she looked like someone one breath away from breaking, and some instinct fought to keep her standing. He approached her slowly. She didn't meet his eyes. You didn't have to, she whispered. I know, he said softly. But I wanted to. Her gloved hands clutched the basket tighter. She tried to step away, but her heel caught on a loose board. She stumbled, and Asher reached for her elbow, steadying her, and that was when it happened. Her wig slipped slightly, she froze. He felt her flinch. She shoved it back into place quickly, head bowed tight to her chest. Before he could ask, she whispered, voice breaking like weak flame, please, pretend you didn't see. But the more she tried to hide, the more the question clawed at him. Asher wasn't used to not understanding something. Especially not someone. That he offered his arm gently. Let me walk you home. I don't want charity. It isn't charity, he said. It's respect. She hesitated, then nodded. The walk back to her small cabin at the edge of the woods was quiet. Moonlight followed them. She spoke little, only offering the simplest answers. But her silence carried stories. At her porch she finally looked at him. Really looked at him. Her eyes held storms and surviving them. You shouldn't waste your time on me, Mr. Callahan. Maybe it's not a waste. She opened her mouth to respond, but the wig shifted again. She panicked, clutching it tight. Asher stepped back, giving her space. Widow heart, you don't owe me an explanation. But I'm not blind. Something's hurting you. And it isn't me. She swallowed hard. Come back tomorrow, she whispered. If you really want the truth. And before he could speak, she slipped inside and bolted the door from the other side. Asher stood there long after the lantern inside faded. Something in him, something buried, had begun to crack. And he didn't know why, but he'd be back. He had to be. The next morning Asher knocked on her door with uncertainty he'd never felt. The sun was barely up, dew glistening on the fields. For a moment he thought she wouldn't answer. Then the door opened a few inches. Come in, she whispered. Her cabin was small, too small for the life she once lived with her husband. Photos were turned face down. Curtains remained closed. The air smelled faintly of lavender and old sorrow. I should start by saying, she murmured as she sat at the table, that last night wasn't about the pies. I needed the money. For medicine. Asher sat across from her slowly. For yourself? Yes. She exhaled, trembling. Then her hands rose to the black wig. I wasn't ready last night, she whispered, but if you truly want the truth, you should see all of it. She removed the wig, and Asher froze. She wasn't bald, she had thin, patchy hair, burned away in uneven streaks. Scars curled along her scalp, pale lines of past agony. Not from illness. Not from age, from fire. Her voice shook. People said my husband died saving me. But that isn't true. He died angry. Angry at the world. Angry at me. And when he set the kitchen on fire, he meant to end both of us. She blinked quickly, tears rising. I escaped. He didn't. Asher's breath caught. Widow Hart. Emma. I didn't know. No one wanted to know, she whispered. They just preferred the easy story. Poor widow, what a tragedy. But truth is uglier. Truth leaves marks that don't fade. She touched her scalp gently, like the scars still burned. I hide it so people feel comfortable. So they don't fear me. So I don't remind them of things they want to forget. For the first time in years, Asher felt his chest tighten. Not with desire. Not with pity, with something far deeper. He reached out slowly, giving her space to pull away. She didn't. His fingers brushed hers. You survived something no one should survive alone. Tears slid silently down her cheeks. I didn't want anyone to look at me, like I'm broken. You're not broken, he whispered. You're brave. Her breath trembled, and for the first time, she lifted her eyes to him without fear. You made a bet, she said softly. That's why you bid on me. His cheeks flushed with regret. Not anymore. I'm done with bets. Why? Because I finally found something worth winning. The silence between them warmed. Emma didn't smile, not yet, but her shoulders relaxed, her guard lowering. Asher, she whispered, voice cracking, I don't know how to trust again. Then let me earn it, he said. Slowly. Patiently. Without wagers. Without pretending. She looked at his hand on hers. And if I can't heal? You don't have to heal alone. Outside, wind brushed through the trees, carrying away the weight of years. Inside the small cabin, two souls, one scarred, one empty, leaned toward each other like dawn breaking. Emma wiped her tears. I didn't think anyone could ever look at me without turning away. I'm not turning away, Asher said. Not now. Not ever. For the first time in a long time, hope flickered through her broken pieces, soft, fragile, but alive. She nodded, and the rancher who never lost a bet realized he had finally found the one thing worth giving everything for, a woman who had lost everything yet still stood, not because she was perfect, but because she had survived, and together, they would learn how to live again.